Hi, how are you?
How are you? Good to see you.
Nice to meet you, Lucas.
How
Yeah,
are you?
nice to meet
It's my partner, Jacob Clark.
you. Nice
Hi,
to
how
meet
are
you.
you?
What can I do for you today?
So we received your
Yeah.
email this morning,
Okay.
and we wanted to come and talk to you in person because there seems to be a misunderstanding.
Sure.
Especially in the last part where you said that it's a civil matter.
Okay.
About work. So I was reading carefully your email. Thank you very much for taking care about this case.
Sure.
But you know, I'm taking care about Zurab's work, and I'm paying money every month about this work. So what is missing? So it's my point to make reports about the missing work.
Okay.
Can I just?
It's included in the report, in that report number. It's included about the bond.
But we just want, she wants to make a statement and just have a copy of that
Yeah,
statement.
we can get you to fill out a statement for sure.
Thank you.
Would you grab one behind the desk?
Yeah, because,
Yeah,
Because it's not
And I know that there's a, well, I mean, that's the argument is that it's not.
It's not civil because it's not in any court.
Yeah,
So,
even.
I know there's a court, I understand that.
I think, and there's maybe the misunderstanding of how, like, what I'm referring to as civil. I'm just going to get up with these guys and listen to the conversation.
Okay.
It's just that, so, and I talked about this before, so like if there's some dispute in property, and we had this issue with the eviction, and then there's property left over, and then there's a boat dock, and that's, the house was quitclaimed, and there's all these things. I'm not saying that there's not something weird going on, or something weird didn't happen with the HOA, I'm not saying that, because I know that there's been issues back and forth, I've read the emails.
Yeah.
What I am saying is that because there's a contractual agreement, the district attorney does not view that as being a stolen boat.
Okay.
Okay, but we can. I will take your statement if you have documentation, and
Yes.
this is one of those things. Like if you have if you're making payments to something, if you have like a sales receipt, anything that has your name on there, that helps. Okay, so we can go that route. I think once ever he's getting the clipboard.
And the main reason I'm saying is that we answered the court a month ago. We know about that case. And
Right,
everything.
right.
We're not talking about those things that
Yeah.
he's challenging in court
Okay.
or that he wants back. We're talking about the two things that are not mentioned in any civil
Yeah.
court.
Okay, so those aren't included. You're talking about the boat
No,
dock?
those are
No,
not included.
no.
We answered.
That's what you're talking about is the boat dock and the boat.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not talking about and that's not that. But in
But
our
the-
world, I've looked into the boat dock and the sale of the said boat dock. That's not my realm. That's not a criminal realm.
But there's no sale, that's what I'm trying to tell you, it's gone, it's missing.
Yeah.
All we have is 3 different people saying it was stolen,
Resold.
it was sold, or it's a
Okay,
police
well then
investigation.
let's figure out where,
Three minor.
if you have some paperwork or whatever, if you guys fill it out for me, let's do that, and then we can go from there.
Okay.
But
Thank
it will
you.
be included in the report, and that is the report.
Okay.
I don't want you to feel like there's not a report, because there is one. I'm just saying, if you went to our records department, which is just around the corner here, if you went and asked for it, they would send me an email that I have to fill out a form that releases it, but because it's an open investigation, we can't release it.
But what I'm trying to understand, I'm not talking about any other issues, because I know there's so many issues.
Yeah.
Today, just specifically the boat and the dock. The two things that are not challenged in court, nobody
Right,
wants.
and that's part of our investigation. That is included in it.
But you're saying there was a sale, but what are you investigating if you're saying there was a sale?
Well, there was other things involved, and that's why I'm not trying to be cryptic, but I'm not under an
But you
obligation
can't
to tell you.
You can't put everything together. It's like if my car was contested, fine, but it was a different thing.
It's involved together because we're in this massive now investigation that covers many things.
But see, the problem is these two things. See, the house, I understand it's in court. That's court matter. We can go to court, solve that. These two things are not in any court. Not in the first one, not in the second one.
And I'm saying you could take him to court for that. That's why it's a civil
But I
matter.
have no proof that he is the one who sold it. I have words from someone who said he sold it. I have no paperwork.
We
It's just
have
this-
no
but
documents.
But that's what I'm saying. If you go in a civil matter,
But
if you
it's
go to
fair.
hold on. No, it's not. If you go to an attorney and you say, "Hey, there's a dispute on what happened to this property. Somebody sold it. I had an interest in this, or a partial interest, or co-ownership, or whatever it was, and somebody when they did this to me."
But see, she's the homeowner.
Yeah.
Zurab, as he wrote in court, we have the papers. He was not allowed to be in there since February 21st.
Yes.
It disappeared March 17th. How could it disappear from the property?
To us, for him being on the property, on the community
Okay.
property, is not a criminal matter for
I
us.
understand,
It's
but
not.
here's my question. Okay, like he came in on March 1st, he said he had suitcases and things like that.
Right.
They did not let him take it that day, correct?
Right.
They told him go to court, which he did. He put those things, even
Right.
though they're his.
All right.
He could not just come in and grab it.
Okay.
Right? He
Okay.
went to court, the judge said it's yours, he got his thing.
Okay.
There was no such thing for the boat. It was
Okay.
not there and it's disappeared.
Did he have ownership interest in the boat? And the boat dock?
Sure, but see,
So then what is wrong, what is
there's nothing wrong.
the issue then if he takes it
If he
himself?
sold it, that's fine, we have no issue. But it disappeared when he could not sell it. He cannot come in on the property.
That's not my concern. We don't cover that. That then becomes a civil, and by civil
That's
I
not
mean
civil,
it's
but
not
see-
criminal. It's not criminal for
I
us.
understand, but we do not know if he sold it or not.
Yeah, we don't
Okay,
know.
then go to
Yeah.
an attorney.
For
and
what?
find-
For
Well, an
what?
attorney could then, they would go to the court, they would ask for a subpoena to be issued to then follow up with this on their own.
And that's why we wanted to make a statement back in March. See, we don't want you to say, oh yes, it was stolen. Oh no, that's not what we want. Maybe that's the misunderstanding.
Okay,
When it disappeared, that's the very day, we just want to come in, make a statement like today,
okay.
Yeah.
based on what we believe
Right.
it's missing, is gone. That's
Okay,
it.
and that's
So,
fine, we
yeah.
can do that.
But
That's fine.
why-
It has been recorded, it's been recorded in the calls for service that we've gone out, and this has been recorded onto our files.
Mhm.
Not in a report structure until meeting. When I came on, then it was moved to the report.
But see, the thing is, how come none of the officers went on the block to see if the boat was missing? Because there was actually a boat there, but it was
Because
a
in
different boat.
our police world, when we know that there is a dispute in property.
But how did you know? There was no dispute.
That was the argument that was made to the police
There was
officers.
March
And
17th.
I can't speak to it other than what I read, okay? Other than what I read, it wasn't that. But
I understand.
it indicated that it was a civil matter. And civil means that we don't have an interest.
Okay, can I just tell you, and I don't want to argue here. I know you're saying it's a civil matter. March 17th, there was 2 court cases.
Uh-huh.
The first one was over March 15th. The second one did not happen until the end of March.
And this is with the eviction process? Was
The
that-
eviction was March 15th.
Okay.
The next court was the end of March. So March 17th, there was no currently active civil matters in the courts.
Okay.
So how can you say it's a civil matter?
Because, okay, so when I say it's a civil matter, I don't mean that it's being discussed in the courts. I'm
Okay.
saying that it is something that the police it's not a criminal matter. Okay, so we have the two worlds, okay? We have the civil side and we have the criminal side. When the Nevada revised statutes, they define what is a crime. And these crimes are what the police can then investigate.
Yeah.
It gives us subpoena powers, it gives us powers to write search warrants, to arrest people.
Yeah.
The civil side means that no crime has been committed. We're not saying that there wasn't some sort of maybe argument that there was wrongdoing, but not criminal wrongdoing. Does that make sense? So that when I say civil, then it's not saying there needs to be a court case.
Okay.
It's saying that we can't investigate it.
Okay.
Okay? And by civil, it means that if you want action to happen, then you do have to initiate a court action. Which means you have to get an attorney. You have to say, hey, this guy, we had like, let's, for clarity's sake, you guys bought the boat together. Okay? So 2 people own the boat. One person decides, you know what, I'm just going to go sell this boat. And he goes and sells the boat. And doesn't give the other person any money. Is there a wrong there? Yeah, there is.
And that's
Is it a
court.
criminal wrong?
No. But
It's
see,
not. And that's why the district attorney in the Nevada revised statutes makes such a fine line. Like, hey, if there's any contractual arguments or disputes, it's not in your world, guys.
Okay.
You can't do anything about it. And correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm
No, you're
not
correct in
explaining
this
it,
matter.
very
You're
well.
correct in this matter,
But
because
one question I did have. Okay, so we live in a gated community, right?
Right.
Zurab, he tried to come in on March 1st. You know, we did not let him come in with his
Okay.
son. We actually have a curious statement saying, with the help of the police, he got in,
Okay.
which he had no legal recourse to go in there at that point. Why they let him in and his son was threatening us is another question. But see, it's a gated community. She's the homeowner at
Sure.
this point in the paperwork.
So,
Okay?
right.
And she said no.
Yeah.
And they still let him in.
Okay.
So she's the only one who can remove that boat. It's located on her property. It's
Right.
missing when
It
she's
depends. But
How-
she's not.
was the boat on the property or in the water?
It was on the dock because she
In
has
the
the
dock,
dock, which
yeah.
is attached
Who
to
controls access to the dock?
It controls Lake Las Vegas
Let's
Marina,
say-
and I have the
mean,
proof.
And I'm saying, well, you could say no, and say, hey, you know, you can't come in, you can't come to my house. But somebody else can let them in. And to us, it's not a criminal matter.
But that's, how is that not criminal?
Because
It's our property and it
Yeah.
disappeared.
Well, the community is not.
The
Right.
house,
The house
the
is.
community is not.
Yeah, but see, the boat dock attaches to the house.
But again,
It's part of
the
the
boat
property.
dock, the boat dock ownership is then
It's
is
part of the property.
dispute, though.
If it's managed by
Because
Las
from what I
Vegas,
understand, the boat dock was purchased after the house, right?
Okay.
But
I-
see, the boat dock itself, it attaches to the house. It's part of the
I
property.
understand that it is.
And
but
whatever's on that dock,
That's not true, though.
how is that not true? I have a
Because
document.
the boat docks and the houses, they're separate entities. They're separate things. Some houses are sold with a house and a dock.
No, you're just
But other
talking
houses-
basics. This
I
is
know.
membership. This is in their contract.
Then
It says,
but then you're saying words like contract. Contract means that then it's now a civil matter.
no, I'm just talking about, it says in the contract, the only way,
you're here to write a statement about what.
I understand.
yeah,
all
we
of
still
that.
wanna do
Yeah,
that.
Fantastic. Why don't you go ahead and write that statement for us? We will go on with the investigation
Yes,
from
sir.
that.
Okay.
It's correct.
Great.
It's what I'm looking for.
Excellent.
Just, if you guys want to, have a seat, write it out, take as much time as you need. If you need more pages, just talk to a volunteer right here. Then
Okay.
have them call me back or just leave it with a volunteer and I'll come and get it, okay?
all right.
And then we can go from there. And if you have other information you want to give them, pass it along and I can go. Okay?
Thank you for your
Oh,
time. Dad.
and just about the first, you said all the information I told you before. That,
Yeah.
You're getting some financial records. I was just asking what you were talking about. Oh, what are you investigating? Because in your last email you said there was no crimes. So I'm confused as to what.
There may possibly be one,
Oh, okay.
right?
We
Okay.
just need to.
But I have to make
find
sure.
that out.
Okay. No, I
A number of
understand.
aspects to determine whether or not there is a crime.
Okay, no, that's perfect.
That's what the investigation.
Okay?
See, it's not that I want to know what's
No,
going
I
on.
got
it's
you.
just-
I appreciate you guys coming and helping out.
Okay.
I
All right.
appreciate it.
Of course.
And we just
You got the form.
and we just fill this out and give it to
Yeah, fill it out here,
Okay.
hand it to the volunteers. So I'll come back out in a little bit, I'll grab it from her.
Okay, okay.
Okay.
And one last question. Could you tell me where the internal affairs is?
Yeah, it's gonna go all the way through this building, it's all the way to the end.
So that second building over